Welcome back to the news on Mr. Tien channel. Dear friends, today we have a band of heavy rain, even thunder, spreading across many places. This is due to a frontal system moving southwest at the moment, but it will move northeast as we go through the day. However, before that, in fact across large parts of Scotland and much of England, it will be quite fine this morning. Fairly sunny until the afternoon, especially in the east. However, we have a band of heavy rain, even thunder, initially moving across Northern Ireland, Wales, southwest England, but then spreading across much of England and large parts of Scotland. In fact, in northeast Scotland, the weather will be sunny for most of the afternoon. Although only in Shetland, some low cloud will take a while to clear today. It's also worth noting that as this band of rain continues it will gradually dissipate, and in fact across parts of the southeast it won't be as persistent as it gets here. There are just a few showers to look out for. These showers will be more intermittent than elsewhere. However, it's worth noting that the rain can be quite heavy at times and there will be some strong gusts too. But then it's going to be drier in the western parts, although there will be some scattered showers in parts of Northern Ireland. And with the strong winds, that band of rain will eventually push and dissipate towards the northeast tonight. It's taking a while to dissipate in the far northeast of Scotland, but it doesn't look particularly heavy as it gets here. And then overnight it's going to be dry in the central and eastern parts. Skies will be mostly clear, but in the west the showers will be more frequent and cloudier. And thanks to the cloud in the west, that will keep the temperatures from dropping too low here. But to the east, it's a bit clearer, a bit cooler than last night in many places. Further west, it's more cloud, more showers. And those showers will actually become more widespread, more frequent as we go through the day, spilling into eastern areas. So even here, we'll probably have some scattered showers. Some of them could be quite heavy. There could be some thunder and lightning, and it could be quite strong at times. And it's worth noting that across parts of Northern Ireland, there could be a more persistent spell of rain. We've got a low heading towards the northwest of the UK. This is the remnants of Storm Erin, but it's not bringing us anything as unsettled as a storm. It's bringing quite unsettled, changeable weather, although many of us have had some fairly heavy showers over the last 24 to 48 hours. There will be more showers as we move into Thursday. They will be more widespread, starting mainly in the west, but then all over the place with some fairly heavy showers and some thunder. There could be some strong gusty winds, particularly in western areas. Then there's the chance of more persistent rain in parts of Northern Ireland and possibly western Scotland. And as we go through the night, there's also the chance of more persistent rain in some southern coastal areas. So there's a bit of cloud in the southeast on Friday. Otherwise, it's going to be another fairly wet day. Sunny spells with some strong showers depending on the wind position and the direction of the showers. Showers will be coming out of the western parts, particularly the northwest, where we're going to get the heaviest showers. And that's where we're going to get the biggest impact from some of the heavy rainfall that could accumulate. Also, the highest chance of thunderstorms, and there's going to be some strong winds around. But as we head into the weekend and to get a sense of what's possible from Saturday into Sunday, let's look across the Atlantic. And what you can see is a couple of low-pressure centers. This is Tropical Storm Fernand. And how these low-pressure centers interact with the jet stream is really important. If I run across, and it looks like these low-pressure centers are going to get closer to the jet stream as they move across the Atlantic. And then a new type of feature is going to develop as these lows come together. And then that low-pressure center will run through the jet stream, get a little stronger, get a little more pushed behind it, and then move towards us as a relatively deep low-pressure air mass, and it will bring some unseasonable weather with it. We'll have a little bit more instability as we head into Saturday and Sunday. So, a fairly heavy spell of rain is coming. and most of us will see heavy rain on Saturday. A lot of showers will come over the weekend for many of us. However, we need to be careful in some areas of the southwest, especially on Saturday. There is a chance of a heavier spell of rain and some strong winds associated with a fairly deep low. The further east you go, the longer it takes for the rain to arrive. In particular, in some parts of Scotland, the rain won't last until Sunday night. But most of us will have a wet spell and there will be some strong winds associated with this deep low. The strongest winds will probably be down in the southwest, possibly across the Bristol Channel. At the moment, it doesn't look like it will be too dangerous. We're talking coastal gales. That's not unheard of even for the time of year, but probably not too much of a problem for most places. And if that happens, it's going to be a little bit stronger in terms of the winds that it brings to the UK. But it looks like it's going to be a windy day, but not too much of a problem. Then the rain will move northeast. As we get into Sunday night, the low pressure area will move north. So while Sunday will still be windy, we'll see more showers from the west. It doesn't look like it's going to be as wet and unstable as Saturday. So Sunday looks like it's going to be the driest day of the week for many people, particularly in the Middle East, where we're actually going to be able to avoid most of the showers. But then when you look at our total rainfall over the next 5 days, we've got this westerly pattern. And that means that our weather is all coming from the west. And that means that the western parts of the country are going to get the wettest weather. And if we look at the next 5 days and the total rainfall over that period, some of the western, higher ground areas could see in excess of 100 millimeters. That could be enough to cause some problems if we get any heavy rain and showers. Friday could see some heavy showers. Saturday, as the more persistent rain band comes through, there could be some localized flooding. But the other thing to note is looking at those eastern areas. There won't be any significant rainfall. Less than 10 millimeters over the next 5 days. Although there's a general unsettled, maybe even autumnal feel to it as we go through the rest of this week and into the weekend. There's not really been much rain in some of the eastern areas. So that's not going to help alleviate the dry conditions that we've been having recently. But let's look further ahead and what's coming next week. Well, that same low pressure system that's coming in over the weekend. It's likely to dissipate northwards and then we'll get a typical maritime shower from the northwest. Again, the west-northwest areas are getting the bulk of the heaviest rainfall. Meanwhile, towards the southeast, it's going to be drier. So many of us will get showers on Monday and then there could be a ridge of high pressure. So things could be a little bit calmer as we head into Tuesday. It's going to calm down a little bit before we get some more unsettled weather, because then, if we look out over the Atlantic, different low pressure systems, different frontal systems will be moving in. But it looks like they're going to be coming in from the west and we're going to get some more unsettled weather coming in. Well, Tuesday might be a little quieter, but overall, next week looks pretty variable. In the western parts, the precipitation looks a little wetter than average. Even in the east, the precipitation looks a little wetter than average, but not too much. And that fits in with the idea of this mobile westerly jet stream with the unsettled weather coming in from the Atlantic. So at this time of year, it's definitely going to be cooler with the wind and the rain. But if there are any dry, sunny periods, early September, then it's still going to be pleasantly warm at times. So overall next week, it's going to be pretty variable, even quite unsettled at times. There will be showers, some showers or longer spells of rain, and there will be gusty winds at times. Although nothing really out of the ordinary that's windy at this point. The heaviest rain is likely to be in the western areas. Less rain will be in the eastern areas, where many areas are in need of some moderate rain. However, I think there will be some rain coming. And yes, overall, temperatures will be moderate. Warm enough if you get any dry spells interspersed with the unpredictable weather that is approaching. Thank you and everyone who is watching the news on Mr. Tien channel. Have a nice day. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below. Share the video with everyone.